Wicked, wicked. Jungle is massive. Wicked, wicked. West Ham are massive. Wicked, wicked. Jungle is massive. Wicked. Yo, 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 yo. West Ham are massive. Everywhere we go. West Ham are massive. Tell them how we got this skill. West Ham are massive. Everywhere we go. West Ham are massive. Everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. West Ham are massive.
Didn't want Declan Rice anyway. He's crap. 100 million? They're mad. They're mad. Fofana's much better. Lavia's much better. I've always said didn't want Rice. Do you know, we didn't even want him. Ha, ha, ha. Mate, we're going to be hearing it all now, aren't we? Now, Man City have finally lodged their bid. A serious bid as well. Their first bid. Whether it gets rejected or not, we'll find out today. I suspect it will. The bid, as reported last night on Twitter by David Ornstein of the Athletic, was for 80 million plus £10 million worth of add-ons, which equates to the same as Arsenal's bid of 75 plus 15. The difference is payment terms. Two differences. The difference is payment terms, which Man City can satisfy this deal within 2 years. Much better. Better for us because we're looking to reinvest that money now. It's not money for the future, it's money for now. You know, if we sell Declan Rice, we've got to go out and replace him. That's what Arsenal don't seem to understand. We can't do this on a Klarna, you know, buy now, pay over. I think it was 5 years, 6 years, whatever it was I was doing. You know, and the fact of the matter is they don't have the cash flow for this. We know it. They don't have the cash flow to fulfil this deal. I don't know why they're wasting their time. They're going to break their own hearts. They are. And yes, we know they're going to come out now and it's going to be, little baby violins out, Man City are ruining the game. What's the point? They don't even need Rice. You know, at the end of the day, this is, if it happens, look, it could still materialise. We know it could still happen. It could still end up at Arsenal. You know, they might scoop the money together somehow and mount a serious deal that we will accept, and then it's down to Declan Rice to make his choice. But as it stands at the moment, even though on paper the values are 90 million, it's completely different to West Ham. Completely different, because we need the money now so that we can start replacing him because he's so important to our team. Arsenal have been incredibly arrogant, incredibly arrogant. They're the way they've been approaching this deal, when you consider that they're just about to finalise on Kai Havertz for 70 million. Kai Havertz. And they came in for an initial bid of 60 million plus £10 million worth of add-ons or something like that. It's embarrassing because they've been doing loads of digging, loads of tapping up. They thought that they were in a driving seat and nobody else was going to come in and challenge the great Arsenal because of this amazing project they've got. Mikel Arteta, they had a window of opportunity. Man City weren't going to act until Gundogan had gone. It's no coincidence that Gundogan's now signed for Barcelona. Now they're making moves. And also Silva. Bernardo Silva's said to be moving or favouring a move away either to PSG or the Saudi Arabia, for big bucks. So there's space now at Man City for them to sort of mount a serious bid. So they did have a window to beat Man City to the jump, and they didn't do it. They're fucked around. Arrogance from the club, arrogance from their fan base. And I will say, I'm far from David Sullivan's biggest fan, but I think he's played this one incredibly well. I do. He can't really have done any more than what he has done with this. He rejected out of hand both of their first two bids. He stuck to his guns because look, even with us saying that we want 120 million, we're not used to selling players for big money. So when somebody does come in for a bid with, 80 million, 90 million, it's going to take a lot to reject that. But we did. We did. He stayed true to what he said in this instance, and he remained confident that other teams were going to come into the fold. Now, whether it's going to stop at Arsenal and Man City, we don't know. There's rumours that Man United could also enter the fold. Man United do have players that certainly our current manager likes that they could offer as a part exchange. Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay. Not going to get into talking about what I think about them two, but it might be more favourable to West Ham whilst Moyes is still in charge because we know he likes those two players. I don't know. But look, if City are mounting a bid then what they've done is they've sought assurances from Declan Rice's camp and West Ham that there is a deal to be done. That the rumours of him only wanting to go to Arsenal and him not wanting to move outside of London are false, and that he will entertain a bid for Man City. That's the only way they've mounted a bid, because they wouldn't waste their time otherwise. And that's what's been reported elsewhere. That's what they've been doing. They've been given authorisation from David Sullivan to talk to Declan Rice in his camp, to feel it out, to see what's going on. And you can only imagine that the conversations were good. They were positive. That Declan Rice is open to go to a club that have just won the treble with the best manager in the world and basically jump on that train. It's a shock, really, isn't it? It's a shock, really, that he's interested in that. I mean, yeah, like I say, I hope for his sake that this deal comes off. I do, because for me, I thought the talk of him going to Arsenal and the talk of him favouring Arsenal, for me, it was a bit of a sideward step for a defensive midfielder who is currently idolised at West Ham. Because, like I say, Arsenal, yeah, they're a slightly bigger club than West Ham. If you're from the outside looking in and you're a player and you've got the choice of either club, you'll probably pick the Arsenal project at the moment. But Declan Rice isn't. He's West Ham's captain. For him to leave a club where he's idolised, where he's just won a trophy, he's got to leave for good reason. He's got to leave for ambition. Going to Arsenal isn't ambitious. There's loads of projects out there. There's loads of them. What Arsenal are doing is not groundbreaking. Young, exciting manager, young, exciting squad. It should be the foundation of any project going. So that it's not revolutionary what they're doing, even though they like to think that it is. And they're going to struggle next year. They've got Champions League football. They're going to be a little bit raw from being whipping boys in that all year. And their league form will suffer with the re-emergence of the likes of Chelsea. Man United had a wobbly season last year, still finished fourth. Liverpool are going to come back. They're going to be stronger. Newcastle are going to get better. It ain't going to get any easier for Arsenal. And their fan base will not tolerate now, because they think they're back. They think they're back. They won't tolerate not being in that top two and challenging for that title now, because they are the great Arsenal. Because their fan base is made up of fucking glory hunters who, as John has said in his video, elected to support Arsenal back in the day for glory reasons, and they backed the wrong horse. It's been misery ever since, really. So, look, it is what it is. Right, on to other news very quickly. Said they weren't going to do transfer news, but as we know, Tim Steidten is set to be unveiled this week. He won't be unveiled, I don't think, until this Declan Rice deal is done. Mickey made a comment on our live show on Sunday night, and it got me thinking. And he said maybe Tim Steidten doesn't want to come in and be associated with the Declan Rice sale. I think that's exactly right. As I reported on Sunday, for various conversations that I've had, it is a done deal. He's there. In fact, he's probably working behind the scenes, but they've not announced it yet, because you wouldn't want your first act as director of football to be involved in selling Declan Rice. You wouldn't. You'd want to come in and do the recovery job afterwards. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Declan Rice will go. Tim Steidten will be announced. And I think the deals that he has been working on in the background, which he has been, we'll never know what they are, because we're linked with like fucking 500 players. But there's a couple that I think there's no smoke without fire, and there's some really heavy reports on a few of them. I'll talk about one of them now, and that's Dennis Zakaria from the Swiss international from Juventus. He was on loan at Chelsea last year. He's a player that Tim Steidten would have known very well, because he came from the German league from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and he got his move to Juventus in 2022. And then Juventus farmed him out quickly on loan. Obviously, look, I thought he looked good for Chelsea, but Chelsea struggled. So, he wasn't the answer to their problems, but I don't think anyone would have been. But what he is, the profile of that player is everything that West Ham need. He's young, he's big, he's dynamic, he's fast, he's got good all-round ability. He's quite explosive. He can carry the ball. He's got good defensive attributes as well. If we can pick him up for the 17 million that's being reported, that is a very, very Tim Steidten-like deal. If you go and have a look at his record, where he went out and he got Moussa Diaby from PSG, picked him up for 17 million. A player that was faltering, getting no game time, picked him up, pulled him over to Leverkusen, and he's been a revelation ever since. So that's what this guy can do. He can spot talent, and he's got a very good eye for talent. He has. It's ridiculous. If you do have a look and do some digging on this guy, it's not boring. It's not. If you look at like there's a mock-up going of an 11 of Tim Steidten signed players, and it's fucking impressive. Honestly, absolutely unbelievable. Some of the best young players in the world he signed. He can see potential, And he doesn't just, he won't sign problems because he profiles them physically, but he also profiles them mentally as well. They've got to have the right attitude. So if we're going after Zakaria, who is a player that, like, as I say, Steidten will have excellent knowledge of even before he went to Juventus and to Chelsea, then that will be a fantastic move for us. 17 million, nothing. And I expect to be seeing more of that with this director of football that's coming in. Much more exciting and being linked with the 28-year-old James Ward-Prowse, with Flynn Downs going the other way and paying a ridiculous amount of money for Paulinho of Fulham, who, yes, he's a great player. Stats were great, but he's 28, 29. He ain't getting no better. He's hit his peak. He's coming down the other side. We can't be signing players like that anymore. We don't need to. So no, look, very, very good news. Well, obviously, this story will evolve. It will be interesting. I'm expecting Arsenal to submit another bid. I'm expecting also other clubs to sort of jump on board as well, because if it isn't the case, and what Man City will have shown now is that it isn't the case that Declan Rice is just sold on Arsenal, then I expect other clubs to enter the race for a world-class talent such as Declan Rice. So we shall see what happens. I do think that it will get sewn up this week. I think things will move really, really quickly now. Now, there's more than one club involved. Arsenal are not holding all the cards. There's only one club that is holding all the cards. And that now is David Sullivan, sat above his yacht. The weird little fucker. But on this one, he's done it. He's done it right. I bet he's loving this, isn't he? I bet he's having a good time on that yacht at the moment. So, yes, look, that's it from me. Very quick update. Let me know what you think about the news that City have bid, and they're finally kind of got involved in the Declan Rice bidding war, and also the potential signing of Dennis Zakaria. I think it would be an amazing signing. But yeah, look, anyway, that's it from me. If you enjoyed the show, please drop a like on it and subscribe. Really, really helps us. All right, him? Cabin you ads.